we're gonna cook a crawfish étouffée. Louisiana, grown, raised, caught crawfish. No, nothing foreign. Remember, farm to table, local as possible. Our ancestors couldn't go out the country and get something. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and put our onions into the oil. And what I have here is I have a mixture of butter and lard in here. I'm gonna bring those onions in. Because everything starts with those onions. And we're gonna sweat them a little bit, and then we're gonna build us a roux. Okay, so we're gonna take some of this brown flour, the flour that we actually browned in the oven, and we're gonna start bringing it into our onions that are cooking. We sweated these onions enough, and we're gonna start building our roux. Now this is just one way to build a roux. This is what I call my dry roux. I'm actually building it from a dry flour, sweating my onions, and we're gonna have this little roux. And it's supposedly called a little healthier roux too. And the oil we're using in here, I have a mixture of lard and butter, all natural. I didn't bring any processed oils in. Processed oils don't do a really good job when you're making a roux. So now that I've got this color, you see the color? I'm looking for this brown color. Brown is important out here in Cajun country. We don't like white gravies. Not that they're not good, it's the color. People eat by sight, and we have to have color in our food. Why? In the old days, you go back to our ancestors in the Cajun world, you came out to the country, we cooked with lard and flour. If you go to the city, they had butter, flour, tomatoes, all the vegetables because of the French market. So they would cook with the lighter roux and the redder gravies. But when you come out here, we had lard and flour and dark roux. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'll let the onions cook a little bit, let them sweat a little bit. I'm gonna bring our celery in, and I'm gonna bring our bell peppers. I have 3 different color bell peppers here. Green being the strongest, and as you get darker, it gets a sweeter flavor. So I like to mix them. If you don't have all 3 colors, use the one that you have available. It's not a big deal. But I like it because it does give you a better flavor when you mix it. Something else I'm gonna bring in, I'm gonna bring a little andouille in. A lot of people say, wow, why do you put andouille into étouffée? I want that little smoke flavor. And I'm gonna give it a little bit sausage, a little small can of sausage. I want that little smoke flavor in my étouffée. Why? Because that's us Cajuns love smoke. It's the way we like our food. Because we were raised on smoked food, because that's how our ancestors preserved their meats in the wintertime. They smoked it. Now, there's our stock in. And you can see we're going to start building our gravy now. Building our brown gravy. Look at the color. This is the color we want. Remember, this is just one way to make a roux. Pretty easy way to make a roux. I could have just started with oil and added flour and kept stirring it. But since I've browned my flour in my oven, I'm just cutting a little time off my process. And I'm just gonna let this cook a little bit before we actually bring in our crawfish. So now what I'm gonna do in the étouffée, I wanna bring a little hint of red in. I wanna bring a little bit of tomatoes. I can use a little tomato sauce, I can use a little tomato paste, but I have some chopped tomatoes here. That's what I prefer. And it's just a hint of red. I don't wanna overpower with red, because we want the taste of the crawfish to come out. We're gonna bring this in, juice and all, of these chopped tomatoes, okay? And in case you want to know, this is like a 12-ounce can of chopped tomatoes. If you were doing your own tomatoes out in your garden, good fresh tomato season, put a couple tomatoes in. Now we're gonna let this cook some more, about another 5-10 minutes, then we'll bring our crawfish in. So now it's time to season our étouffée. I'm gonna give this 2 teaspoons or two teaspoons of sugar. Does it do anything? It gives it a little sweet taste. It actually does add some really great flavor, but you're not overloading it. It's just to give a little love. So, another thing we're gonna add to it, our crystal hot sauce, our Louisiana hot sauce, homemade in Louisiana. It's just my favorite, it's my personal favorite. Use yours, use whatever you like. We're gonna put a little hot sauce into our étouffée. Not a lot, and that's just gonna add a little bit of flavor in it. Okay, then stir it in. Time to add our Louisiana crawfish tails. These crawfish tails, before they package them, they scar them. They let it come to, basically let the water come to a ball, cut it off, they peel, There's fat. When you buy a pack of Louisiana crawfish tails, do not rinse them. You want that natural fat of the crawfish tails. And that juice down here, that is the fat. That is the fat in the water. And of course the crawfish release a little water. All that's gonna go. There's our little fat juice, and there's our crawfish tails. Okay, now Louisiana crawfish tails are gonna cook quicker than if you had import crawfish tails. So we wanna keep in mind that within 10 minutes, this is gonna be done. Now we're gonna come and just finish cooking these crawfish tails into our gravy. So tradition is, out here in Cajun country, a lot of the men do the cooking, especially the wild game cooking, the crawfish cooking, because a lot of them belong to hunting camps, fishing camps. Okay, one of the things we're gonna add, this is a Cajun tradition. This is a River Parish tradition, St. Charles, St. John, and St. James. This is what we do. We're gonna add some boiled eggs, and some people even add the raw eggs in and have them poached into the food. Both of them are very good. Some people add both. Why the eggs? This is just a Spuddy belief. I really believe that our ancestors, we had eggs. We all had chickens. So you know what happens? You had a lot of chicken eggs. This is protein. This right here, if you have an egg for every one of those little crumb snatchers that you're raising, they're getting some protein. They're filling up on that dish. So, and these eggs are just flavor. So we're gonna add these eggs into our étouffée, and they're already boiled. So it's just a matter of letting the eggs cook for about 5 minutes, and then you're done. You're finished. And that's it. And it gives everybody a boiled egg when they're eating. It's like a special treat. It's like getting the Easter basket on Easter. It's a surprise. So we're gonna let this cook a little bit more, and our étouffée is actually becoming real. 5 minutes, we're done. Beautiful. So part of our German heritage, French bread, the po' boy bread. Everybody knows New Orleans, Louisiana, we're famous for po' boys. So I like to take our French bread, and French bread is, our bread makers were definitely German. Leinhammer, Rising, we had some emails out in St. James Parish that own bread companies. And I love to take this French bread and dip it into this gravy. And man, if you want a treat, get you some good po' boy bread and ooh. This is what we call mopping up your dish. You're gonna take this French bread and you're gonna mop up all that gravy just to bring it home. This is how you finish your dish. Because when we finish our plate, it's clean. You don't have to wash it. Actually put it on the side and use it next time. No, actually wash it. But we clean it up with some good French bread. This is our tradition. Oh. You have to try this. Get your good French bread, mop up your gravy. It'll be the best part of your dish. It's like hitting a home run at the end in the ninth inning. It's time to eat. So what we've done, étouffée is served over rice. Remember, étouffée is smothered. So we basically smothered this crawfish in a little gravy. We have our boiled egg, and we have our petit pois with the roux peas. You can eat these separate. The way I like to do it, you take this whole plate and mix it together. Bring all these flavors together.